Okay, welcome grade 8 foodies. It's nice to have you see me again, although I can't see you right now. As you can see, there's been a few changes in me during hibernation over the last month. I've managed to grow a beard. Let's go over a few things about this whole online format of you making recipes for me. So I'm going to hand out a recipe per week, okay? And if you're unable to make that recipe, don't worry about it. You can just help out at home, make one of the recipes during the week for lunch or dinner or breakfast like that, and then you can document that. Along with the recipe, I'm going to give you that form to evaluate yourself on your recipe for the week. So be it one that I give you or be it one that you make at home that you're going to have, you can use that form for both. Okay? Don't be afraid to make any changes to the recipe you need to accommodate for your own personal diets, such as being vegetarian, or say you have allergies like gluten intolerance or something like that. You can definitely sub in ingredients that you need to make the recipe personal for yourself. Okay, most of the recipes that we do in class are for 2 to 3 people. So if you're going to be feeding more than 2 or 3 people, you need to probably double the recipe up to accommodate for everyone in the household. Okay, and most importantly though, before you get going on the recipe, read the whole recipe fully. Okay, because some things in the end, near the end of the recipe, you might need to know ahead of time, like maybe it tells you to preheat something or anything like that, and you don't want to have to wait till that point before you preheat something. You want to be able to do it ahead of time so that you're ready to go. Okay, so let's get cooking. Welcome to Mixing It with Mags. This week's recipe is going to be pancakes. First, I'm going to start off with telling you what equipment you're going to need to make these pancakes. So, if you don't have certain equipment at home, you can improvise. If you don't have a bowl that looks like these, you can use any sort of bowl you have at home. I'm just going to talk about general stuff we're going to need. So you're going to need a bowl about this big, and you can use a liquid measuring cup for putting the liquid stuff in. The dry stuff's going to go in the bowl. If you don't have a liquid measuring cup like this, then you can always use a smaller bowl like this to put your liquid stuff in. Okay? You're going to need some measuring cups. More importantly, you're going to need your half-cup measuring cup. Okay, but then again, like I talked about, if you're going to double things, you're going to need different size measuring cups. Okay? You're going to need a whisk to mix your ingredients together, and some measuring spoons. Okay? When you start making the pancakes, you're going to need a ladle or a big spoon to put them into the frying pan. And then you're also going to need your flipper to take them out of the frying pan and to flip them over halfway through. You're also going to need a stove and a frying pan to make your pancakes in. Now I'm going to talk about the ingredients you're going to need to make this recipe. It's a really simple pancake recipe. Okay, you need 6 ingredients. Okay, flour I've got in this container, sugar I've got in this container, just white sugar. You're going to need an egg, vanilla, baking powder, and milk. That's it. Okay, so let's start putting this recipe together. So I'm going to start with the dry ingredients. So the way I've put it on the recipe, I've got ingredients A and ingredients B. Basically, the dry ingredients are ingredients A, and the wet ingredients are ingredients B. So I'm going to start with the dry ingredients. For just a single recipe, you're going to need a half a cup of flour. So again, remembering the handout I gave you on the notes on measuring, you want to overfill and then take a flat edge and level it off. So then you got a perfect half cup of flour into the big bowl. So we need 25 mils of sugar. Most of you probably won't have a 25 mil measuring spoon, so what you can use is 1 tablespoon, which is 15 mils, and then 2 teaspoons, which is 5 mils each. Together will give you 25 mils of white sugar. So again, you can dip into the container with the white sugar because you're not going to compact the white sugar down by doing so. But again, you want to make sure that you level it off as well. Into the bowl. And I'm going to need 2 of my 1 teaspoon. Again, I'll just overfill it. Level it off. There's 1. And my second one here. Level it off. Into the bowl it goes. The only other thing we need now is baking powder, and we need 15 mils or 1 tablespoon of baking powder as well. Baking powder is a leavening agent, so this is just going to make our pancakes rise when we bake them. Okay, so I'm going to scoop in And then again, with my back of my knife, level it off. So I got 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And that's it for our dry ingredients. I'm just going to clean up and put things away and tidy up as we go along so I don't have a big mess in front of me. Next, into the liquid measuring cup is going to be the liquid ingredients. I'm going to start off by the milk, and we need 1/2 cup of milk. So again, remember, we want to measure on a flat surface, and we want to make sure we get down at eye level. Make sure that we are on the 1/2 cup. And I need just a little splash more. Perfect. Bottom of the meniscus line is right at the 1/2 cup. To that, I'm going to crack my 1 egg into there, like so. I'll put that in my sink. And then I'm going to put a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, and my 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla is going to go in there as well. And a little bit more. Okay, you can take your whisk at this point, and you can whisk all these things together, break up that egg. And there you go. Okay, with a spoon, I'm going to stir all my dry ingredients together. So they're all mixed and incorporated together so we don't have all the baking powder in one area, whatnot. Then I'm just simply going to add ingredients B, the wet ingredients, into ingredients A, which are the dry ingredients, and mix. And there you go. Your batter is ready for the frying pan. Okay, so when you're making your pancakes, you want to preheat the frying pan using just a medium heat. You don't want to go too high, or else the your pancakes are going to start burning relatively quickly. But you want to make sure you preheat the frying pan before you add the cooking sprays I'm going to use, or butter or margarine, whatever you have at your house will work just fine. So in order to find out if your pan is hot enough, what you want to do is, once you think it's warm enough, you're going to put some water in and see if you can get some dancing water. So I just simply splash some water in, and you can see it's dancing and sizzling away there, and it's going to evaporate pretty shortly. You know you're ready to go. The frying pan is warm enough. Now we want to add the stuff that we're going to keep it from sticking, be it spray as I am. So just put a little bit of spray in the middle. Okay. Then I'm going to take my scoop, and I'm going to scoop a little portion of the batter into the middle of the frying pan. Now at this point, if you want to add some sort of flavoring to your pancake, be it fruit or, as my kids want, chocolate chips, okay, this is when I would put it into your recipe versus putting it into the batter. Especially fruit, because the fruit will bleed, especially like blueberries or something like that. It will turn all of your batter blue. Okay, this way you're only doing the individual pancake instead of the whole batter. Okay, so now we're just going to let that cook, and you want to let it cook for probably about 3 or 4 minutes until you start seeing large bubbles on the top of your pancakes. When the large bubbles start to come up and pop, that's a good indication that your pancake is ready to flip over. Start seeing the large bubbles here forming on the top and popping. Once you start seeing a lot of those start to happen, then you know your pancake is pretty darn close to being able to be flipped. The smaller the pancake, it's going to be easier, or the bigger the pancake, it's going to be harder to flip. This is what probably not to make this big of a pancake on your first try. We'll see what will happen here. Pretty good. But then again, I'm a trained professional. So we're ready to plate it. So you put your pancake nicely on a plate, and then you can choose what kind of toppings you like to have on your pancake. My kids seem to like either just plain old syrup, or they like a little bit of Nutella on their pancake. Choice is up to yours. Eat them all warm. Yum yum. Hey, don't forget, if you like this video, hit subscribe, ring that bell, and give me a like or two. That would be nice of you. Thanks a lot for paying attention today. See you next week on Mixing It with Mags.